So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live Thursday stream. It's recorded for Ustream.tv and also for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I'm going to be working in the Colin Thompson colouring book, and I've found some more books to use. And I also want to be playing with my little book of watercolours, and I've scratched I think there's 120 squares of every Neo colour 2 that I have. I also have some Aquila water-based crayons from the back ones here. So some of these you may not be able to find anymore. There's manganese violet and there's ultramarine fine. So some of these I think they stopped doing, but most of them they should be in the Neo Colour 2 sections. And I just like to flick through this book and I look at the tones so I know everyone's got used a little bit, and that bit's been used to create a colour chart. So if I want to be here somewhere or in the middle, I will go back to the spot that I've already used. Whereas if I want to go full strength, I'll go next to it, because that's going to be full strength. So all this is 3 layers of colour. But the little dot is the amount I've used on everyone. So everyone's got a little dot missing, and that's for the colour guide, which you can see when I do that with it. So they've all got a colour guide. I've used a paper chase photo album, cut the plastic to fit, so I've got plastic between every page. I kind of like this, but I wanted some paler colours, so I'm going to use the Neos, but I'm going to use them with just a tiny amount, so I'm getting a kind of a muted effect, if that's okay, because that's a vibrant red and a vibrant blue, but I've used them quite muted, yeah. So we could have a blue one next. So again, I can look at the strong colours and I can look at the pale colours. So this one is Blue Jeans, actually, which I was looking for his and I missed. So if we've got a blue, let's have a red, but I want I have a Venetian red, and it is the same colour as his jacket, but I want that to be that. So Venetian red's up there. This is English red. I found my little brush. So I've used this one, so I'm just going to get a little bit on there, and you can do a test. So I like it about this colour. So let's get some more on there. And I've gone this side first because I want that to be the darkest, and then drag the colour across. And then what this does is it makes it look round. I don't know what's happening in there. Suzanne says, sweet iced tea with lemon and extra ice. Well, we're in the UK, so we definitely don't want extra ice today because it's not very warm today. And then just go back in with that side, and that's all I need to do. I've wet it twice. It's the good quality is this. I'm in the Colin Thompson colour book, so it's a fairly good quality. I would say fairly good. It's very good, and it would take a little bit of a watercolour, and it's dry now, so that's about as damp as you want to be. I'm using the Derwent number 1 colour water brush because I find this one is the smallest and it lets out the least amount of water, and I've also got a little damp baby wipe, so I drag the brush back, twist, and it takes it to a point and it cleans it. But I love the fact that the baby wipe is almost identical when I finished as started, and that means that all the colour that I've used is in the page and not in the water brush. If you were using a pot and a big brush and rinsing it out, you're just wasting your colour down the pan. So what have we got next? So this one could be kind of a greeny colour, I think. Now there is, in the Neos, there is a flesh colour. I think it's at the back. I like to put my greens together. So number 42 is just called flesh. And so when I come across little hands and arms and skin, that's kind of what happens. Sometimes there's little faces on these, but I can't see any at the moment. So now I need to clean the brush. So when I do this, you see the tiniest little mark came off there. So you're wasting very little. And again, as a tight Yorkshire lass, I kind of like that. So that's a bit minty, but I have there's a burnt umber and a sanguine, which I think the sanguine is, it's got a different name now. And again, if you're not sure of the colour, test it first, because there's nothing worse than ruining your page. And again, it's not too strong, isn't that? So I can just give that a muted brown. Now, I'm a very boring girl because I tend to just put a little bit of a bright yellow on every little window so it looks like there's somebody in. And what else have we got? Uh-oh, it's feeding time at the zoo and there's nobody home to feed them. So I do like these old colours for the... I don't tend to do lovely bright colours. I always think I will do, but I never end up doing them. I always like kind of muted old colours for vintage and Victorian books. So this is a green, but it's a darker green. So again, I kind of like this one. I should have left that kind of white. That's the lurch of being a pest. So once you get used to your brush and you get used to the colours and get used to your Neos, using them from a paper palette, you tend to kind of know, you don't have to test everything, you kind of get a bit of an idea of how this is going to go. And then when I've got the last little bit on here, I go over the labels, because I always left the labels that they'll always go they're all stark white, and I always forget them. So if I just kind of brush over them last minute, just knocks off that stark white. Come here please and be a good boy. Come here. I'm in the lounge today, so we have an Alfie. Uh-oh, we have an Alfie. Oh my goodness, we have an Alfie. Yes, we have an Alfie. We have an Alfie. He just jumped on my knee. It's not a good idea, Alfie. Thank you. Sounds like we're being invaded. But she's telling me that it's tea time, but she has an hour to wait. So we've got two greens, but they're very different. So that one could, I don't want to work on that one because I'd have to work like this. It's uncomfortable, so I'm going to work this way. So I'm just going to go up one and across. So apologise about the naughty animals. It's a zoo around here. Yes, they all look dark in this particular page. This is the one where they've made a house with rooms and views, and they're all dark. So it looks like looking at a window. So I'm just going to have a quick look for my yellows. It's a warm light I want. So we have a golden. I think I like golden number 20. And all I do is I'll do those two. Oops, sorry guys. So all I do is I just stroke once over the top, and that looks like there's somebody home. And I do that with them all. Very boring, but I do that because it just looks like it's the warm light. So I use cadmium, I use golden yellow number 20. Now I think it's a different number, it might be 200 now, but I'm going to put that, oops, I think everybody's arriving home. Sorry guys, wrong time. So if you look over there, I've just done some more little yellow for windows. Yeah, sorry guys, the problem is it's just bark, 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 and the one that's barking's deaf. So he technically can't hear himself, so it gets a bit silly and he sets them all off. So I think I'm going to just do this section here next. So they look like they're a set, and they've all got little doors, and some have got windows. So I'll do the first one that looks like it's a set. So one barks and says hello, and the other one barks and says hello, but the one that's barking can't hear anyway. So he's just barking to himself. I did say it was a madhouse round here, sorry guys. It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. Sorry guys. It's a madhouse. They do look very similar, but I don't think I want to do them as a set. So I would have done them in a different colour, I think. But I'm using Cobalt Violet. No, I'm not. I'm using Aubergine number 99. It's quite a nice kind of Amaya red, Amaya pink, purple. But it's an old colour, and it's kind of like that. But I'm keeping it kind of muted. I don't want it too strong. I just want a hint of colour because it would look too modern, and I've gone and put too much colour to it. So you see the difference, that looks really nice and that doesn't. So the only way to do that is to pinch the colour and put it somewhere else. So I can allow myself one to be that little bit darker. So now I've come across some windows, so I'm going to go back to my yellow. Yeah, Alfie's been the sauce. He's going to let the others in, I know he is, because he wants to be naughty. So I'm going to go back to my golden yellow number 20, and there's a little window up there. And there's a window. And I haven't seen any of those. I'll put those there. So apologies about the deaf dog barking to himself. So I'm going to put, oops, no, I nearly made a mistake then, because there's a pair of curtains on that one. I only do it where there's no curtains. I mean, it's not even a normal bark, is it? It's just I'm shouting, I'm being noisy. So apologies for the loony. Those curtains look closed. They've got half closed curtains. Oopsie. No, stop that. Alfie, come here. The big girl's getting miserable now. Gosh. So we've got a whole row of streets, and the books look like roofs. Very clever. The books look like tiled roofs. It's very, very clever. I'm not sure if I might have to do them all the same, because it's like a terraced house. They'd all be the same, wouldn't they? I think. So I've got to find my purple. Oh, thank you, love bug. You wouldn't say that if you had him. He's a spoilt boy, and he's also, shall we say, not all there. Alfie, come here. Alfie, come here. I think that might be just a bit strong, but maybe not. Yeah, the lurch is trying to break in. Alfie, can you come here, please? Now. Alfie, good boy. Come and sit down. I think I kind of like these. Some will be darker, some will be lighter. I'm hoping hubby will be home soon, before we lose the doors altogether. So I've got a door there. I have a door there. So I think I'll do this one a different colour. I like that olive colour, so I'll use an olive colour. Oh, that was more of a mustard colour, but it's quite nice. As long as it stays vintagey. I like these to stay a bit vintagey, these colours. But the grayscale is so nice. I'm quite tempted to buy this book again because I can do them in bright, vibrant colours, and it'll be completely different to how I've done this one. That's why sometimes I photocopy them so that I can do them completely different. And then I've got a little bit of colour on there, just knock the stark white off there. In fact, actually it's quite a nice colour just to... It just gives them a bit of colour. So I think we could have a green door. So we'll look for it could be a bit bright, that, but we'll have a green door. It's not too bad. Don't want to be too bright. Everything's got to be kind of a little bit not kind of muted, but and then we're going to have an orange door. And I think we've got some peach curtains there. Oh, can't see them very well, but they're definitely peach curtains. And that's very pale now, so I can go back and, oh, that was a bit too peach, but I'll put a label on that one. And while you've got a little bit of colour. So we've got this red colour here, probably for the chimneys. And I do have a smaller brush, which I probably should have used, but I'm going to do that. Oops, sorry guys. And then so we've got some chimneys needs. Yes, Alfie's got Alfie has problems, shall we say. Alfie has problems. Bless his little socks. We love him, but it's a good job we love him. And that's the lurcher trying to put a hole in the door. Whoa. That's the one that put a hole in my arm. Oh. Piggles, stop it. Gigi. Gigi. Sorry guys, that's better. We'll do that one. See if we've got a deeper blue. The blue jeans looks quite nice. It's not too bright. Again, I keep making little tick marks to make sure it's going to be the right colour. Just let me see if I can. Yeah, we love our dogs, but they're not always good. Alfie's major problem is bottom control. So I'm using Blue Jeans 155, like this colour. And it's a blue, but it's kind of a vintagey blue, so it looks quite nice on colour books. And I always look and think how things are drawn. So, you know, does it look like we can get a real drawing, real painting out of it? So now what I should really do is get my really fine, my 10-0 liner. Twist it to a point. And then take that down there. So all I'm doing is dunking the brush into a tub of water, twisting to a point on a baby wipe, and then just taking the tiniest amount imaginable. And you can just make that look like it's got a few more ridges than it actually has. And then we'll go back to the water brush and a bit darker tone. But of course, because it's grayscale, all the work's been done, so it's going to come out exactly how you want it to. You don't have to put more colour on. Exactly the same colour you can put on the top as the side, because it's the grayscale that darkens it. So that looks like you've done it. Now I also want to do the pages as well. They're nearly always off-white, and I do have a skin tone which looks quite interesting. Oh, as soon as the boys are in there, should we have a bungle cam very quickly? We'll have a bungle cam, because he's waving to come in. He's trying to get in and the other's trying to get out. Come on. Bungle. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Hello. Hello. Come on. Hello. Bungle also likes it in this room. So here's our Bungle. I have a Bungle cam very quickly because he won't sit on my knee for long. What are you, Bungle? He's such a big boy now. But he's still got a snotty nose. So really quickly. Bungle, what's this? You like pens? Oh, what's this? So here we have our Bungle. Oopsie, maybe I should. He's so black you can't see him. He's so black. What's this? What's this? Yes, it's not a good. It's not a good light, is it? That's our Bungle. There he is. Look. Hello, darling. Let's have a look at your nose. See how snotty you are. Let's have a look. You're still a bit snotty, aren't you? He's getting such a big boy. He's such a big boy now. He's our Bungle. He really is a big, gorgeous boy. Whoopsie. You go have a wander then. But Alfie chases him. He's very naughty. And we're frightened that he's going to nip him. Oh, I've had an avalanche. Everything's falling off. So we've got to be really careful who's in the room and who isn't. So let's get back. Sorry guys, we just had to have a Bungle cam. We had to have a bit of a Bungle cam. And again, I love the fact it's all flat and nice. So I think that's a wooden. I don't think that's a book. I think that's a book. So I think we'll move down one and do these next. So I like Green Olive 25. In fact, I think we'll have this big book, which I think is what that one is. It's a very vintagey book cover colour. So thanks to Bungle this morning. This is why we're in. Oh no, avalanche! Oh, Bungle! Oh, thanks, Bungle. I'd planned to do all sorts of pastels today. I wanted to do my mushroom colour book that Suzanne bought for me, and I was going to do the other one, the other book, and because Bungle did his unmentionable in his litter tray, I couldn't work in my room today. So I had to move the camera and the laptop into the lounge. So all the pastels and everything I wanted to use, all the thin, what I call the thin books. I have the thin books that I love, but you couldn't really put a water brush to it. And then I have the others. Now Alfie's barking to come in now. And Alfie wants to come in because he knows that Bungle's in. So this is Indian Red number 75. And I think we'll have this one, Indian Red. Oops, it's a bit red is that one, but it'll be fine. So that's the golden yellow, so I think that might be a bit too yellow. We want a grungy yellow, don't we? Oh, Bungle's just pawing me. Paw, paw. Because it's feeding time. So I've got all these gorgeous bright colours, but I don't tend to use them because I want more vintagey colours, really. Dull colours is probably a better terminology. It's kind of a duller green than I like. Now my brush is on its way out because I've used it and used it and used it. Oh, Trouble's here now. Hi Trouble. You're going to sit down and have a snuggle and a purr? Because you did miss me this morning because... Hello purr, hello. So here's the bungle, yes. Thank you, hello. Whoops, I have a cat stood on me now. You're not going that way, Bungle. Oh, he's so affectionate, is our Bungle, aren't you? Yes. Thank you. So we had a bit of a Bungle cam last week because he likes to walk up and down the pages. You can't get on this page because it's on the slant. So we could have a very quick, if we're lucky, a very quick Bungle cam. There he is. This is the baby. This is the baby boy, isn't it? No, you be a good boy. Be a good boy, Bungle. He's so pretty, but he's getting big now. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He stopped purring now. But he has a snotty nose. So this is our newest member of the family. No claws, please. You'll be a good boy. He wants to play. You want to play, Bungle? Psst, psst, psst. He's purring. So that's our new baby, who's not a baby anymore. But he hasn't grown into his ears yet, have you, Bungle? Or your tail? Is that yours? He does it very gently most of the time, don't you? He's normally a very gentle boy, aren't you? But he hasn't grown into his ears yet. But he loves playing, don't you? He loves sticks. Anything that's a stick. So that was a very quick Bungle cam. Going to be a good boy. I'm going to sit on my knee. Where are you going? Oh, he likes to do his puddles. I've got his furry blanket and he likes to do his kitten thing. He sits for hours doing that, don't you? He sits for hours doing his padding. Yeah, are you enjoying yourself? So, our very quick Bungle cam. Oh, hi Judy, welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? He is, he's growing up. He's growing up. He's a big grown-up boy now. Thank you, but he does want to play now. He's finding his feet and he wants to play. But he hasn't grown into his ears yet. He's still got his big ears. He's not grown into his ears yet. So we think Bungle needs a friend because he wants to play with somebody. He's on his own all day, aren't you, Bungle? So we think he needs a friend. But I think there will be some friends coming along because it's nearly kitten season. For some reason, cats come into season at the beginning of the year. So in a couple of months there'll be lots of kittens. So I'm sure he's going to get a furry friend. And he loves to talk to himself and purr to himself. But he is wanting to play with Betsy quite a bit, and he kind of jumps on her a little bit. So poor Betsy. She likes to play a little bit, but he's a bit boisterous. So we've done the little chimney. So I still haven't found. Oops, I haven't found. Oh, that's my baby wipe. I haven't found the colour that I want for the papers. But I think I will do. Oh, we haven't had. I've got some quite nice olives and grungy greens there. These are quite nice colours. So I'll probably pick on these quite a bit. There's some nice colours there. So I could do that long one that's going to go all the way down there. And get a bit more colour on it. I kind of think these would be a bit more grungy than the new, so I like the muted colours. So hi guys, thanks for popping in. So, oh, we've got, I keep going back to blue jeans. Hello, Trouble. I keep going back to blue jeans. Oh, he's run off now. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do this one. I like this one. I like blue jeans. It's a nice colour for a vintagey book. It's like a grey blue. And of course the neos just melt as soon as you get the colour onto the brush. But again, this is a really nice way to use your neos because you can mix colours and do all sorts, but your neos are safe. They're not kicking about. And to have 120 colours instantly on show is always quite nice. He's found something to play with. I'm not sure what he's got. But it's a bit like having a baby, having a bungle. It's like having a baby. He's always in trouble. He's our bungle. Just put more colour down there a bit. So you don't have to do much before you can get some quite nice colours going on that sweater. You can see all the colours. So I've gone for kind of muted colours, but I like that. I think this page lends itself to that. I think I might just want to turn that around a little bit. So there's one or two little books just there. I think I'll do those. And then that might take us up to our hour, because we did have to have a bit of a bungle. He's gone to sleep now. He's a fairly good boy. He's like any small creature. He needs attention. And so you have to stop what you're doing and play, and you can't always do that. But that's what he would have you do. thought I'd go for a bit of orange. Just, I normally have a nice red, but I can't. I've got some nice reds when I do the watercolour pencils. I've got my favourite reds and favourite greens, but for Neos, because a lot of them are very vibrant and bright, I haven't picked a nice red yet. So let's have a look. There's Raspberry Deep, which, if you look at it pale, is quite nice as long as it manages to go pale. Let's put a bit of a vintage raspberry colour on that one. Something really bad about this. So the other thing I've been doing is silly. Right. Never try to get in the corner when you're on the wrong side. So let's have a look. We've got some, could do with the blue. This is a purple, but it's cobalt violet, so I think it might be kind of a bit of a darker one, so we'll go for this one because it's dark anyway. Yeah. It's a purple, but it's not in your face purple. Again, I haven't found I like the blue jeans, but I haven't found a pale, so like a deep blue. But it's quite nice to put different colours in, so let's have another look for a vintagey red. I keep going back to English red. It's almost like a mahogany red, actually. That's very much like a mahogany red. Kind of reddy brown. It might be a little bit too brown for this, but if you want a shadow, to go down one side with a shadow so it looks a bit darker down one side. Then we can have a highlight on the top. I still want kind of a blue. I'm going to look for, I think that might be too blue. Yeah, it's too blue. You can tell instantly the blues that are too bright. This might be a vintagey blue. Yeah, it's I think that's his royal blue. But it's a purple blue, it's not a, I'll have this one. And then we'll just put a little bit of stronger colour down the back there. Oh, we've got a nice shadow on that one. Created a bit of a shadow on that one as well. So where I want to go next, I have this little section up here. So again, we could do with a little blue one, so we might get away with a paler blue one this time. A vintagey blue. Oops. So if you wet that out, it'll come out. So we want to have a yellow ochre. And I like that one as well because it's pale. So we've got two colours for the price of one there. Now sometimes if I was doing this, I'd be tempted to flick through my little colour book and not only use the Neos but also use the Derwents and the Inktense, because there's some nice vintagey colours in. So I would be tempted to flip and use both of them, but because I'm just making this video, I won't. But if I was doing it just for myself, I would probably flick through and use any yellow, any blue that I wanted from vintage, from all the different water-based mediums I have in this book, because that's what the book's there for. It's there to be used to its best advantage, and that's how I use it. It's a bit like some watercolour tubes, you know, you would, or your oil tubes, you might have different manufacturers, but you will use a brown next to another colour if it's the one you want. So same principle. And that's how I usually use this book, but of course today I'm just using the Neos because you may just have Neos. Again, I think we could do with a vintagey red at the end there. And there's a little one there that we can just do. There's a black cat sat there, which I've missed. There's a little black cat sat there. And he's sat next to a door, so we make him a little red door. So there's a tiny little red cat, black cat, sorry. Just seen this. It looks like there's a fire. That looks like it's a fire on this one. So I'm going to use my yellow, my golden yellow, which I use. Because it would be golden yellow, giving out the bright light. I've just found a bit of an orange colour there, so I'm just going to do that one orange. And again, if you don't pick up a very bright colour, because I've got them in this little book, it was a bright orange that I used, but I used a tiny little bit, so it's this colour, vintagey colour. It's not in your face orange, and it's worked quite well. And again, I love these vintagey colours. thanks guys for popping in. I hope you're all plodding along as we do. I can't believe it's Thursday already. And I missed the Abbey on Tuesday. I was too poorly, so I've been a couch potato. So these look like bigger books. So I have some nice fawn and brown colours. So I think I can have quite this is quite a dark colour. I like the sepia actually. So I now have a book to colour in. It is a bit dark, that one, but actually that's going to work quite well. I found it's called Dunkel Beige, but it's got a different number. It has a different colour now, a different name, but it's a really nice, I don't think it's chocolate, I think it may be the cocoa. I don't think it's chocolate, I think it's cocoa. But originally it was called Dunkel Beige, but it's more of a chocolate colour now. But the pale on it, the pale colour is really nice. So you can get some shadowy effects and all sorts. Oh, hi Terry, welcome to Bunny's Designs. You're back again. Sorry guys, I lose track of who's here. I'm a terrible host. Apologies. I've been too busy trying to keep Alfie quiet. So you can have quite a vintagey look if you play about. So I need, I've got 3 little books down here to do. I think we can get that one done. So I am a bit of a vintagey girl, so I do like, I'm more attracted to vintage coloured books than I am to bright things. I'm not, I shy away from bright things normally. So, what colour am I on now? So I think that one can be purple. So if you can't manage all the colour, it's better to do it in stripes across, because it'll give you a natural curve. So it looked more like a rounded book. So the fur baby has returned to squidge on his blanket. He's a bit of a squidgy boy. He does love his blanket. Don't you, Bungle? Are you going to sit at my knee then? You're going to be a good boy? You're going to be a good boy. He's not too naughty. He's getting a very big boy. And he's got huge feet now, haven't you? You're going to purr? And he does look lovingly at you as well. The little kitten I was playing with yesterday was a little bit troubled, shall we say, because every time you went to stroke her or pick her up, she just attacked you. So she was a troubled little sausage. And Bungle's just sitting on my knee having a purr. But this little kitten yesterday, and I tried for 2 hours to get it to go to sleep, and eventually it did settle down, but I wanted to try and get it to settle down being stroked, but it wasn't having it. So I made him sit down, but as I was holding him, he was just opening his mouth to bite all the time, so I had to kind of put my thumbs under his chin so he wasn't biting me, so it looked like I was strangling him, but I wasn't. But I just tried to hold him to show that everything was all right. So a gorgeous little kitten, but a troubled little sausage he was. So I think he put quite a few holes in my fingers yesterday. But I'm quite used to that. It comes with the job. I'm just trying not to get too much green on this because it's a nice colour, but I still want it kind of vintagey. I don't want it too strong. So that was a green. So we'll go to a brown. And you could, again, scratch colour where you wanted it, but I just like to just touch a bit of colour and manipulate it with a wet brush or a damp brush. So they're the real colours like that. You can see the colours. And it's very little effort as well. I mean, I hate to do this and people say, oh, that looks wonderful. And you think, but I haven't really done anything. All the colours, all the things are done for you with the grayscale. But on the other hand, it's a nice chilled way to colour. So sometimes I do like to work like this because it's just nice to have a play. I haven't decided what colour I'm going to do the pages yet, so I keep having a look through my little book. There's some warm beigey grounds. There's a light beige. That might be quite nice actually. I think that might be nice, a warm beige. So yeah, that's quite nice. So we've got the colour for the pages. 402 light beige. Just going to take that start white off. So we can do quite a few of those. Oh, will do, Suzanne. Do. Phone. You just get rid of that little bit of cream on there, or beige, I should say. You have a look. So what have we got? Bear with me 2 seconds. Sorry guys, it's taken me a bit of a while to do this. Oh, it's not showing what I want. Sorry Suzanne, it's not showing me, it's not showing. HTTPS. It won't show me. I don't know why. Sorry. Sorry, Suzanne. It's not letting me have a look. I've typed it in exact. The only other way to do it is, just bear with me a second, if I... try it this way. Oh wow, that's lovely. That's gorgeous. It's a bee. It's a honeybee. Sorry, Suzanne, I'm a bit slow. Where am I? I love it. Yes, it's gorgeous. Sorry, my... if I can read chat, I can't see the top. The top. So I'll pan out and then I'll finish because we've been about an hour, and just let me see if I can find zooming out tools. So I've made a start, and I've been using my little book of watercolours and my Derwent water brush and the Neocolor 2s. So thanks for watching.